Bet.
Every year we take a trip to hunt some public land in eastern Virginia. In Virginia, you get a third either sex tag for east of Blue Ridge only. And while it's nice to hunt on a third buck tag, this public land is heavily pressured. It'll have a man trying to pattern the deer pull his hair out. A good feeding spot might produce a deer once every few days, and it's never the same deer. With rut activity, it may be once a week a buck walks past the edge of a pine thicket to check for does. If you're not just at the right spot at the right time, you'll go home empty-handed. My father and I have started bow hunting a few days before the muzzleloader season starts. This year we had a good weather and a good acorn crop. This year Dad chose the right spot on the right day to have an opportunity at a buck with his bow.
Alright, well, I'm setting up here. There's a good bit of wind. This is where I killed that buck last year. This is always a good bow spot because deer like to come through here feeding, and there's a lot of acorns on the ground. There's some disturbance. But there's, at that last spot I scouted, there was one rub, and there's one rub down here. This is the best weather we've had out here in a while. But I figured the deer would be really rutting hard, but I don't know. I got my scent drag with some doe and heat scent. I hung it up in front of me, but definitely some good acorns on the ground right here. Disturbance. Trails look like they're being used. The wind direction's alright. So, I mean, I shot that buck right here last year, so maybe one will catch scent of this scent dragon, or one will come from behind me and hit it and come running up here, so. I don't know, not a lot of rut sun, but good acorns, so. If nothing, maybe a doe will come up here, and I'll slap a doe if not a big buck. But I guess we're gonna find out.
Bet.
I hit him back. Give him some time. I'll get back with you. Dad said he just shot a big one. Not much going on over here, but we'll have to see. I'm hoping he'll wait just a minute till it gets dark so I can go with him to look for it. And film recovery. If he thinks it's down, I don't blame him for going on over and looking for it. There's still like 45 minutes till dark, so we'll just have to find out. Alright,
Well, we've given this deer a couple hours, but we're back over here now. It's like 8:50, so it's been like 3 hours. But we went and got something to eat, put it on the laptop, and we gonna sneak back in here and see what we can find. Oh, that's soaking, bro. It's soaked good tonight.
I know
It where it's so soaked, it makes me feel like it's living.
this is where it passed through. He's standing.
Yeah, his blood. On that leaf right there. Right there. Right here. That looks like liver, bro. Yeah, I see blood on the other side. There's a big fresh road. Blood right there.
There's blood. Something's done out of it.
Yeah, I know. First thing I noticed when I looked, done ripped his tail off. Holy crap. How many's he got? How many does he got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10.
10 points.
I knew his beams were about 20 inches long. Yeah, something's done ate into his hand.
I know it. That quick.
And it ain't been, what, 3.5 hours?
Yes,
I knew he wasn't like crazy wide, but his beams looked like they was out to his nose. Yeah, you hit him good. You just slightly back. He was just barely quartered to you.
I know. Look, I smoked.
It just come out. Liver, stomach, probably only got one lung.
Thank you, Lord. Man, I was so worried I wasn't. I was second guessing myself. Man. Yes. Golly. Oh man, that was awesome. We kept finding that blood. I said, he's done.
Oh yeah, I knew it was liver blood just looking at it, but I was like, there's too much of it. You can't lose that much. He can't lose that much blood and not die.
It's perfect on this side.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but it's, I mean, yeah, he was quartered to you real hard.
Well, it's getting ready to pour down rain.
Yeah.
So we was gonna give him about 5 hours, but it's getting ready to pour down rain. So we decided we better get in here and get him.
Especially after watching the footage, you could tell where it went in on the footage. I knew he was quartered too real hard, but it looked good. I mean, I knew it was liver for sure.
Booyah, baby. I swapped his butt. But yeah, let's get a picture real quick before it starts pouring down rain.
Yep. And then we gotta
Then I'll get him.
shoot out of here.
Get him out of here. Can you see me?
Oh yeah.
After Dad had killed a nice 10 point on the first day, my spirits were raised. I hadn't seen a buck bow hunting for 4 years out here. However, the drought would finally end.
Well, I'm up in a tree. This is the same spot I hunted the first evening. This is where I killed that buck last year. I wanted to try it in the morning. It's the only place I've seen with any acorns on the ground. With like a bunch of acorns on the ground that are good. And this ridge over here behind me is pouring acorns. there was an acorn just fell right here in range of me. And there was acorns falling on this ridge right here beside of me. To where, if one comes down to her, I should at least be able to see it. So there's acorns falling everywhere. So a deer's gotta come through here eventually. I mean, there's tracks and trails and feeds on, disturbance in the leaves and all that. They eventually gotta come through here feeding or something. I'm not seeing much rut activity at all, but I don't know. Something's gotta happen eventually. I don't know. These deer out here make me want to take my knife to my tether and guess I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe today's the day. But I don't know. I just got my coat on and got situated. And those two little bucks did perfect. It sucks they weren't does, but my wind, the front moving in's got my wind blowing up this ridge, which is the one way I don't want it to blow. Well, then they kept circling around like they were gonna come back. I don't know what they were doing. But then they hit the center of the scent drag and came back. And then they left again. Or that one did. I guess that's what he did. But he came to right there and then he eventually walked off. But the last time I seen a deer out here during bow season was 3 years ago. I missed one with my compound. It sucks that wasn't no. If that would have been some Mogla mossy toe giant, I had a couple openings. I probably could have squeezed one through. But if it would have been a giant, I probably would have tried it. But but I've got a good deal of confidence in this spot. Just need the big one to come through now. We'll see what happens. I feel a heck of a lot better than I even seen a deer now. And they were in bow range. If my wind wouldn't have been doing what it was doing, and would have been doing what it's supposed to be doing, they'd have come perfect. I mean, they'd have walked right in front of me and been perfect, but I don't know. I think the only thing that kept them here so long was that scent from that scent drag, but hopefully they don't keep coming off that hill where they come from, because that wouldn't work out too great. But unless that wind switches, then it'll be perfect. I'll just, if something else comes up through here, I'll just have to try to, if a big one or a doe comes up through there, I just gotta make sure I get a shot before they get right there in that path where they did.
Have I ever told you the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and 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 expecting different results. But here I am. Here we are. In the same spot. Expecting a different result. But what do you do? Spot's got good acorns. I've seen deer here. It's last evening for a bow. So, I don't know. I'll figure something out eventually. But maybe I should have just shot one of them little bucks. That's the thing. You get to be a hero and try to pass deer out here, and then you don't see one for 2 weeks. So, I don't know what else to tell you. There's acorns and feed sign. I've seen 3 bucks walk through here. I just honestly might shoot a little dinky spike this evening. I'd like to kill a big buck with my bow out here, but my God, it's hard. I've been out here for 4 years. Never seen a good buck while I've been bow hunting, so. In the same spots I've seen them with the muzzleloader. That's the weird part. It's almost like just next week all of a sudden they just kick into gear. I don't get it. I made me a little mock scrape and put that scent drag in it. Maybe if one comes through a little bit too far, it might hit that scent drag and go walk up to it and work at like a scrape or something, I don't know. And maybe for future endeavors, if I decide to come back here, it'll work the same. Something will start working it. I don't know, I've talked for too long. I'm literally going crazy. I don't know. But we're gonna figure something out eventually. I just hate to hunt the same spot over and over and over again. But what do you do?
I mean, he got out of the way before the arrow got there. But I barely shot over top of him. If he would have never moved, it may honestly hit him. Which gives me a lot of confidence in my ability to shoot this bow. But the problem is I can't get a deer to come in range. That doe fed up beside of me, went up this ridge, and then I thought she was gonna come over here. I've never really had one do that before in the spots. If I had my muzzle loader and that was a big buck, yeah, he'd be taking a ride. I'd have killed him. But usually the bucks always follow this ridge right here I'm on, even the does usually. First time I've ever had one come around like that and go up that little holler. They usually like to stay out of that little holler, but there's been a bunch of acorns falling over here to my right, so that could be the reason. I don't know. I'm going home with clean arrows. No deer with my bow, but and I'm missing out on a coonskin cap. I wish I had an old broadhead or something, because that was a stinger with good bleeders in it. It's an older blade, but I've sharpened it, but it had good bleeders in it. I wish I wouldn't have done that, but now that I missed it, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I thought he was going to come over here and he didn't. But I guess that's it for the bows. We'll be getting the muzzleloader out tomorrow. Extend some range, but it hasn't mattered yet, because I ain't seen a big buck yet, so I don't know. We'll figure something out. Maybe by the end of it, one will eventually come through. We can get a shot at it.
We were only a few days in, and this trip was already a success. However, stay tuned for the next video, for the action has only just begun.